The plant kingdom reaches far and wide, its diversity unfathomable. Each species and subspecies has its own physiology, its own unique and distinctive biological function. The greater the understanding of plant physiology, the more equipped a farmer is to make the best decisions at every step of the growing process, beginning with soil generation.
They're saying that there's 7,000 miles of roots and root hairs on one rye plant. That's right here under our feet. That may go down 20, 25 feet, but 7,000 miles of roots and root hairs. When we have deep-rooted perennials, there's a pulsing that happens. It pulses up in growth and it pulses down in root growth, and then it gets eaten or mowed and it shortens back up and it pulses. So 40 feet of topsoil in the Great Plains was due to that, because the buffalo would run across it, you know, do their tramping and everything, and those plants, they all got eaten, their roots got short, and the buffalo moved on for 2 months, and when they came back through, by then they had grown back out, grown back tall again.
Farmers who use rotational grazing for livestock catalyze soil creation by mimicking this evolutionary process. Plant physiology also plays a lead role in choosing the right propagation method.
There are a couple, two specifically, types of root systems. Primarily a taproot, which is one large root, and then there's the fibrous root, which is a lot of hairier roots. When we're seed starting, we're usually working with fibrous root systems. Tap roots grow deep, fast, and so they're not as conducive to seed starting in containers versus just direct seeding them in the ground.
Some things you're going to be growing for fruits, some things you're going to be growing for leaves, some things for roots. The stage at which you set them out is different for each of those things.
Knowing the needs of a plant can help to choose the most appropriate environment for that species.
You know, conditions that are cool and moist and shaded are more conducive to growing green material than they are to growing a flower or a fruit, for instance, because the plant will grow larger leaves under less light to try and maximize the amount of light that it gets. So, you know, it's much easier to grow lettuce in partial shade in the middle of summer than it is to grow it in full sun. It seems counterintuitive, but you have to think about what the effect is you're trying to get out of that plant.
The biological expression of plant life can even determine the best time for harvest.
Green beans, for instance, during the day, they're putting a lot of sugar into the green bean from the leaves, and then at night they're taking that sugar and putting it into the physical seeds inside of the bean as starch. So during the day, their sugar content is very high, they taste sweeter, and then at the end of the day or in the morning, they taste very starchy and very bland.
From before the seeds are sown through to the end of their life cycle, the way in which plants express their biological function is inseparable from the relationship they have with the environment around them. Understanding these relationships can drastically benefit both the individual species and the farm system as a whole.